The Switch, for all its amazing games and varied and impressive third-party support, the system does seem to have a bit of a hole when it comes to games from EA and racers in general. Yes, we've got Mario Kart, Crash and Sonic Racing, but arcade races that see you drive licensed cars, apart from Grid and the recently released Burnout Paradise Remastered, the list is a little bit limited. But here comes another remaster from EA with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, the first Need for Speed game for Switch and the first time the series has been on a Nintendo console since 2013. So with the game just being released on other consoles, let's see how the Switch version handles itself. Originally released all the way back in 2010, Hot Pursuit was released on all three main home consoles, and whilst the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions was well remembered, and what this remastered is based on, the Wii game was a completely different title and frankly not much cop, mainly due to the technical limitations of the system. So if you only played the Wii version of the original released back in the day, this remaster is a completely different title. The story of the game is simple. A blink and you miss it plot. It's set in a fictional region called Sea County and it sees racers racing through the lush landscapes and cops chasing after them. The game's intro is short and to the point and it focuses on the most important thing, racing. And that racing is brilliant. Controlling the many different cars feel fantastic, whether it's driving at over 100 miles an hour or drifting around corners, it all just feels so incredibly satisfying. And considering that this game is 10 years old and the mechanics still feel fresh as fun as the day they came out all those years ago, really speaks volumes how great the handling is. As for the events, Hot Pursuit contains loads of individual events set all over the game's fairly decent sized environment. The events range from your typical normal races, time trials to head-to-heads with other racers, but the game also allows you to play from the cop's point of view with a cop campaign as well. These events mostly see you taking down racers as quickly as possible and it's utterly enjoyable. Seeing cars flying after you smack them never gets old. But easily the best event in the game is Hot Pursuit, which shouldn't be a surprise as it is the game's subtitle. This event is utter carnage of a race, which sees loads of racers on a lengthy race smacking each other up and cops joining in on the fun, hoping to bust you, with the cops tailing your every move and even setting up police cordons, adding the various gadgets like EMP blasts, and it's utter pandemonium out there on the road, and there's nothing else quite like it. It's a blast and so thrilling to play. Onto the content side of things now, and thankfully Hot Pursuit Remastered is a pretty big package, offering you loads of bang for your buck. You have the base game with all its cars and events, as well as all the previously released DLC events and cars interwoven into the game's campaign. There's well over 100 events and 100 cars between the two campaigns. As you go through the game, completing events, you're constantly unlocking new things to do and cars to drive. It's a proper joy as it's nice that you're always rewarded. There is a free roam mode where you can explore the whole of Seacrest County, but this isn't like 2012's Most Wanted or Burnout Paradise where the world is worth exploring. This is really just a long stretch of roads with nothing much to do, but I suppose if you just want to drive around to get used to the area of Seacrest County then it's fine, but don't go expecting a typical open world experience. We also have multiplayer, which is exactly the same as the other remastered versions, allowing you to race and compete in events with players all over the world, and a nice inclusion is cross-play, which is included here, which allows you to play against randoms from PC and other consoles. Thankfully the online performance is fine and I didn't notice any slowdown whilst playing, which is fantastic. As for the presentation, Hot Pursuit looks great on the Switch, whilst classing the game as a remaster is a bit of a stretch as there isn't really much of an improvement here, but that being said, it all looks lovely in motion and feels incredibly impressive to play in your hands. As for the resolution, the game is 1080p docked whilst 720p handheld and it runs in 30fps in both playstyles, and thankfully it runs incredibly smoothly with hardly a drop frame in sight. Conclusion time now, and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered for Switch is, like the other versions, not really much of a remaster, but a few new additions and all the DLC. What it is, however, is a welcome call back to the glory days for the series, with a huge collection of enjoyable, hectic and thrilling events to complete in. The game runs incredibly well on Switch in both handheld and dock play, and seeing this game running on the Switch portable screen is incredibly impressive. If you're in a mood for a racer, then look no further than Hot Pursuit. So with that, I'm giving Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered on the Switch an 8.5 out of 10 with a title of great. As always, thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could like and subscribe, that would be great. And as always, until next time, happy gaming. Bye.